Okay, hello guys, and welcome to the live stream on my channel. I am very happy to see you all. To be honest, I'm not sure how this will go because this must be the first live stream that I have been doing in years. I hope it works well though. I decided to come and talk to you just to say hi, really. Because there have not been many of the live streams so far, but just in case somebody would want to watch it. So really I am just wondering if you guys are enjoying what you are seeing on my channel, if you are enjoying my style, my tone of voice, if you're enjoying the information and finding value in any of the content that I am giving you and providing you with. Please let me know. Drop me a line in either of the comments section in either of my videos, preferably the ones that you have watched, of course, and enjoyed. Also, please give me some suggestions if you feel that there is something that you would want me to cover. I understand there is so much information available nowadays, and literally you can GPT anything or Google anything. But still, if you are following me, then by now you would know that I always have my own way of looking at things. I have my own philosophy and my own internal kind of belief system that I try to follow. And some of the questions that I am being asked by my clients, for example, who I work with in private sessions on one-on-one basis, they often tell me that they find my way of seeing things unique in many perspectives. So let's check if this is true, and I would greatly accept the challenge of you guys just letting me know what kind of content you would be looking for on my channel, and let's see if anything works out of it. Also, just not to make this stream useless, I think I would want to cover a topic that I personally found very important for me quite some time ago, and this was the fact that my body at some point just stopped resting. And when I say that, I really mean that I was getting rest, I was even getting sleep, and sometimes I was even getting enough sleep, but at some point I just found myself in a situation when I was waking up in the morning and I felt totally and completely drained, had no energy to create anything. I had no energy even to maintain the kind of decent lifestyle. I tried going on vacations. I tried getting more sleep. I tried getting off work for some time. I tried walks in the park, physical activity, and all those, mindfulness hacks that you would normally see on the internet. But unfortunately, I found all of these to be useless, really, or not maybe useless 100%, but very, very little help to what I was experiencing. And I don't know if I've spoken about this, probably not, but ever since my divorce hit me, and ever since that turning kind of life situation happened, that broke me. I was always convincing myself that I'd be capable of getting out of this all on my own, and I would be able to cope and reinvent myself without getting much help from the outside. And one of the worst, probably, nightmares that I had at that time was thinking about going on medication. Because, you know, there is so much controversial information out there, right? We are all led to believe that all these chemicals, as in antidepressants and other medications that are normally prescribed by doctors in cases when a person is suffering from anxiety and depression and any similar kind of conditions. We're led to believe that all these chemicals are so bad for you, that they are very addictive, that they're going to ruin your life in terms of you would not be able to get off them later on, you would have to stay in them for life. And there are so many myths really surrounding this entire kind of medical help thing. And I was one of those people who actually believed all that. And I was actually so cautious about even thinking about it. And trust me, I'm a very, very responsible person. And when I was working on trying to get out of this rut and trying to get myself off the floor, trust me, I've tried it all. I've done pretty much everything you would see in every self-help book out there. I've switched completely to mindful living in many ways. Eating healthy, sleeping healthy, working out healthy, doing everything healthy, even working healthy, you know, even thinking healthy. But as I said, none of it really made much difference to the extent to which you might say, yeah, you know, I'm out of it, I'm done, and I'm feeling much better. So at some point, not as early as I should have, probably 4 years into this struggle of being depressed, of having anxiety, to the point that I couldn't even think straight, to the point that I stopped sleeping normally. And none of the sleeping aid pills available over the counter worked anymore. I've tried herbal medicines, I've tried Chinese medicine, whatever, you know. So 4 years into this torture, I finally gave in and I called my GP and I said, look, you've been prescribing this to me 4 years ago when we've had this conversation the first time, and I declined politely and said that no, I would try to do it on my own, but unfortunately it didn't work out. So can we try something mild, something, you know, just to help me compose myself, so that I could get on with life, really. Because to be honest, I had a lot on my plate, and I still do. I have my parents, I have my children, I have life to rebuild, and I have work to, you know, make it happen. I have friends, and it really is a lot, and it takes its toll. So I just gave in, and the only thing I asked for was really, as I said, something mild, something that is not possibly as strong as it could be. And you know what? this was possibly the best decision that I have made in the entire 4 years that I've been in this situation. If I were to describe how it helped me, I would probably use the word enormously, because you know what I was afraid most of all when thinking about starting taking medications. Well, first of all, as I said, it's the addiction and the impossibility of getting off the meds. But probably most of all, I was afraid that the meds, if stopped, they would give me this artificial sense of happiness, sense of joy, because I know how it works on the chemical level. I've read a lot of literature on it. I know that this is all about the neurotransmitters and aligning the kind of performance of our neurotransmitters in the prefrontal cortex in our brain. And yes, it's about the serotonin as well, and the regulation of the all of the hormones like dopamine and cortisol and everything. But I was very afraid that this artificial happiness caused by the medicine while I'm taking the medicine, when stopped, it would go away. And this probably is what most people are seeing in terms of the addiction, because it's like a drug. That's how the drugs work, right? They cause the dependence in your brain to the sense of happiness and sense of joy that your body is experiencing. And I think that it's so great that we are now talking about this right now, because if I can, with this stream, if I can make one person at least more confident about going out there and getting help and not worrying about getting dependent on the meds, that would already mean a lot for me. So here's my message. It doesn't make you dependent. It doesn't take away your natural happiness. It doesn't take away your natural ability to feel joy and be happy and feel pleasure, or whatever it is. All it does is it just balances the messed up situation in your psyche. And this messed up situation is not your fault. And it is not your weakness, and it is not something that you must feel guilty about. Chances are that it didn't even happen because of you, but it happened because of some certain circumstances and some certain trauma that happened to you. And if you feel that you're not coping on your own, if you feel that all the good things, all the healthy things, and all the advice that you get off the internet are not working, then please just go and seek help for yourself. And trust me, there are so many medications available nowadays, and a good doctor, they would be able to advise what's best for you. Just speak openly and be very sincere about what you're looking to achieve from taking the medication, and where you stand at the particular point. It really does help. It helps in 60-70% of cases. And this is a scientific fact. And this is something that not so many people talk about. Everyone is saying, well, if you can't cope without the meds, then, you know, you're a psycho, or you're weak, you're whatever. I don't even want to mention. Anyways, just trust me, you're not. There are so many people out there who are going through tough times, and depression and anxiety, it all happens at breaking points, at sometimes in our lives when we lose something, when we lose something valuable to us. It can be people, it can be a sense of security, when you lose a job, for example, or you're forced to move, relocate, whatever. And now, unfortunately, with this economic nightmare and political nightmare, it's really all you could see. And it's really kind of, it's becoming more and more common. But in these situations, you are at your most vulnerable. You know that, right? When you have just suffered a loss, when you have just been betrayed, or you felt that world of yours shake and crumble right in front of your eyes, it's practically impossible to remain calm, you know, remain composed and all kind of dressed up for victory. Breaking down is okay. Feeling sad is okay. Being depressed is okay. Feeling anxious is okay. It is not something to blame yourself for, and it is not something that you really have to suffer from, that you really have to tolerate. Because when you remain in this situation, you literally abuse yourself. You literally keep yourself hostage in a cage where you don't have to be. And there is a way out. The door is open. You just don't see it yet. And this cage that you've built for yourself, it is built of air. It is imaginary. It is an illusion. You can't just step out of it. And I'm not saying that medication is the only thing that can help. Potentially, you might not even need any medication. But what I'm saying is that it's important to speak to someone about this. It's important to share it with someone that you trust. It's important to let someone else know how you feel and get some feedback, get some help, get some understanding and support. And these people are all different for every single one of us, but we all have them. And even if you don't have anyone like a close relative or close friend, there are organizations, volunteers, there are funds readily available for people like you and me, who are there to help and who are there to listen. And all I'm asking you is really not to stay alone in this. You don't have to be alone. And if you ever need someone to talk to and you're really alone, please drop me a line. And I would do everything I can to be there for you and help, because I know how it feels. And as I said, no one should be alone at these times. And coming back to how my story and where my story ends, I've been on the meds in a total of about 6 months. It's done an enormous job in getting me back to life, quite literally, making me feel alive again and making me want to get out of bed in the morning and making me happy that I'm actually still present on this planet, that I have all the people around me, making me grateful for so many things that I just didn't see because I was too exhausted to see anything, and I was too sad to see anything. I was blindfolded. And effectively, the meds that I've been taking, they were very, very mild. I didn't have any trouble neither getting on them nor getting off them. And I didn't suffer any side effects whatsoever. And yes, you might say maybe I'm the lucky one. Maybe I am. But maybe you are too. You would never know if you don't try, right? So, on this note, I once again want to say, you are not alone. I want you to stay safe, stay unshakable. I love you very much. And thank you very much for being on my channel and watching my videos and this live stream. I certainly hope that someone watches it and I would be motivated to do it again and maybe do the live streams more often, just to have this kind of chat with you. So yet again, let me know, and until next time, I guess, all the best.